Hello, this is Phill Jupitus here, reminding you to go to your local library and use its excellent facilities. You know, they're not just full of books like this one, Richard Stark's The Hunter, but they have other things as well. I know that the local library in Corringham in Essex that I recently performed at has DVDs, CDs, sit-down facilities and helpful, friendly staff. Why should we spend the rest of our lives Googling things when we can go and meet a real person and ask them for it? Libraries, as the Manic Street Preachers, gave us power, but more importantly, they gave us somewhere to sit down and read a book. Think about your libraries.
Hello, I'm Dockrill and I'm an author and poet, and my book should be available in libraries. The reason why I'm happy with my books being available in libraries means that people that can't normally afford books still have access to reading. Take that away and you've got lots of people that can't afford books not reading.
The library's like the cool friend you wish you had at school, the one who had all the amazing things they could lend you. All the books, all the comics, all the films, all the music, all the factual reference tools, all those amazing things you can get from a library.
Saturday of February 5th is National Save Our Libraries Day. Across the UK, under the new government, they're planning to close down tons of our libraries, and the day's about getting people to go in and use the libraries. I've been a big fan of libraries. I've used them loads. I was trying to think of some good examples. On the first record I released, there was a song in which I list elements of the periodic table. I'm not a scientist. I went to my local library and I sat there with a few different books saying what each element does and things like that, and went through and wrote that whole track there. And yeah, a lot of people don't seem to know what their libraries are like and are about, including a lot of the politicians involved in potentially getting rid of them. And I mean, this is my local library, and there's loads of lively, active, exciting areas. A lot of people might want to go and take stuff out on February 5th, but I might not know what to take. So I'm going to have a walk round my library now and recommend some bits and see what you reckon.
The reason why I think libraries should stay put, first of all, my first job ever was at a library. It was my school library, and my job was to organise all the ISBN numbers. The trouble was I didn't actually know what an ISBN number was, but what I did know was that I loved being in that environment. I loved looking at all the editions of Watership Down and Inspector Calls and feeling the covers and the paper and smelling the pages of the book. I loved being around that space where all the books made me feel inspired and warm and safe. Also, my librarian was a complete stereotype. She had like the glasses and the beaky nose and the shushing, and that was really inspiring too. And actually, it's all part of what made me want to become a writer, and I wanted to visit these librarians and see my book up on these shelves.
When I was growing up, most of my friends weren't into the same things I was into, so if I wanted to read that Spider-Man comic or listen to that David Bowie album or get that Joe Orton play or get that book about monsters or UFOs or archaeology, I had to go to the library.
The second reason is that without libraries we've got nowhere where people can escape. The beauty of a library is that it's an adventure, it's somewhere for make-believe. Taking that opportunity away and making books inaccessible means that we haven't got anybody expanding their imagination for free, going somewhere where they know they're going to get that experience where you couldn't get in a computer game and you can't get in a film. It's all made up in your mind, and it's quite scary to think that that wouldn't be available 24/7 anymore.
As interested as you may be in arts, culture, books, politics, music, literature, without actually embracing the physical items on offer in your library and relying solely on the internet, you are wasting your potential.
Right, I've had a hunt round and found some books to recommend. I decided to come and sit in the kids section to recommend them, which is a bit weird, but it's alright. Obviously, a lot of you will have different tastes to me, so a good idea, if you're not sure what to get out, is go to whichbook.net, which you can go on in the library, because most of the libraries have internet, or all the libraries have internet, and you go on there and it will recommend books depending on what you're into and things like that. But while I'm here, I'll have a look at what ones I'm going to take out. I'm going to go for The Fall by Albert Camus. I read The Outsider only recently. Everyone seems to read that when they're younger, but I've missed it somehow. And I loved The Outsider, so I'm going to give that a look. And Tales of Ordinary of Madness by Charles Bukowski. Everyone always recommends Bukowski to me, and I've never really read any, so I thought I'd give that a look. Again, it's libraries aren't just old dusty places anymore. It's not all just about books. So I've grabbed a few the CDs I'm going to take out. I've got a new Gil Scott Heron one. I think it was the last, but I missed it. The Animal Collective album, Weather Post Pavilion. I really liked Phil's, but I've never really got around to listening to this one. This is the one that got all the rave reviews. And the Delphic record, I've not really heard, but again, everyone goes on about Delphic, so I thought I'd give that a look. Also, this is my little market picture here. I grabbed my DVDs from my local library because they're loads cheaper than big brands. Yeah, and there's some good stuff. So I'm going for The Killer Inside Me, which I saw at the cinema and found it dark, harrowing and disturbing, and I fancy some more of that. So I thought I'd have a look at that. Kick-Ass, which is, again, yeah, it's fantastic. I wanted to have another look. And Choke, I never got around to watching. It's obviously by, what's his name? Phill Jupitus, the guy who did Fight Club. Yeah, so I thought I'd give that a look. It's got Sam Rockwell, which is always good. And finally, decided to rent out my own book, because I get a small payment for each time it's rented. So whilst it doesn't cost me anything to rent, I'm putting money in my own pocket. So I'll be having that as well.
Lastly, I just want to say that the idea of not having a library makes me really frightened for my children and their children's children. They need to know already books are dying art, and they need to be kept revived and kept alive, and with libraries it's just the beginning of a horrid and ugly war. If
you're about on Saturday the 5th of February, go down to your local library. If you're not a member, then go and join. Everyone I seem to speak to isn't a member. It's like, oh yeah, I'm banned for life because of some fines I had when I was younger. You're not banned for life. The fines will, if you took books out when you were a kid and didn't return them, then they'll be able to sort it out. They'll get over it. It's not a problem. So yeah, go down to your library. If you're not a member, join. If you think you're banned for life, stop being an idiot. And yeah, go and take out some books.